Welcome back. It was a crime which pushed everything else off the front pages. 3 men, all known criminals, found shot dead in the Essex countryside. It was a cold-blooded, professional killing. The victims had many enemies, but which one wanted them executed?
And welcome back to a new video on the Essex Boys case. As always, if you are enjoying the content, please do give the video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in the Essex Boys case, or simply true crime in general, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. The following police statement is from Doreen Burrows, dated the 27th of December 1995. I'm the above described person and I reside at the address Overleaf. I work as a security officer for Boots the Chemist at Hyde Chelmer in Chelmsford. I drive to and from work along the A130, passing through Rettendon. At 16:55 hours on Wednesday the 6th of December 95, I left Chelmsford Police Station having had dealings with the police that day in relation to my work. I got into my car and drove home. At around 17:25 hours the same day, I was driving along the A130 towards the Rettendon Turnpike and had just passed White House Farm on the left-hand side. There was a dark-coloured saloon car directly in front of me which was travelling rather slow. I remember thinking that there was nothing along that section of road and why he was driving so slow. The vehicle then turned left into a side road without indicating. I was not aware that there was a road there until the vehicle turned into it. I can say that there was a male person driving the vehicle, but I cannot say whether there was any other persons in the vehicle. It was not until 2 days later, when I next went to work and saw the police tape around the entrance to the side road where I'd seen this vehicle enter, that I thought of the possible relevance of the vehicle. I can also remember that as I was driving behind this vehicle, I checked my mirror and saw that I was causing a tailback. I also noticed at this time that there was a police vehicle 2 or 3 vehicles behind me. Okay, now the first thing that pops into my mind when reading this statement is White House Farm, is the location of where this vehicle is seen and who could be potentially driving it. Now the first thing that flashes into my head is, could this be the farmer heading down the lane to feed the pheasants, as we know that Peter Theobald, the owner of White House Farm, did travel down there on the afternoon of December the 6th. But going back and checking Peter Theobald's statement, it clearly states the following. The last time I personally went into these fields would have been around 1600 hours on the evening of Tuesday the 5th of December, as Ken would have fed the ducks on Wednesday evening and the pheasants on Wednesday morning. Right, so from there we need to check out the location and whereabouts of Kenneth Jiggins. Could it have been him that was driving the dark saloon vehicle? Well, it would appear not, as in the summing up process it states the following. On the 6th of December 1995, Mr. Jiggins went around 4 in the afternoon to feed the pheasants and the ducks, but he only fed the ducks. It was too late for the pheasants. He drove back through the gateway and locked the gate at around 5 p.m. Now, after discrediting this being Ken Jiggins or Peter Theobald driving this dark saloon vehicle, I guess the next thing that sort of piques my interest in this particular statement, bearing in mind it's not one I've read out on the channel before, the next thing that piques my interest is how that dark saloon vehicle is being driven. This Doreen Burrows, the lady who gave the statement, talks about following a very slow moving vehicle, basically creating a tailback. So this is giving me the impression that this is someone who doesn't exactly know where they're going. I mean, when we look at that lane, it's on like a right hand bend. So where she's travelling from, past White House Farm on her left hand side, the lane would be on the left-hand side just as you start going around the right-hand bend. And it is almost like a blind turn almost. It's not very easy to spot, particularly if you aren't familiar with the area. Something which has always fascinated me regarding this case are really the sheer number of sightings of vehicles coming in and out of that lane on that Wednesday night, that snowy Wednesday evening back in December 1995. Now, I could understand it if this was the entrance point to the gun club or the shooting range, as they did shoot there on a Wednesday, but it isn't. It's simply a little track that leads down to the locked 5-bar gates. locked 5-bar gate, sorry, and the fields beyond that. So what was this vehicle doing? Was it about to break down? Was it travelling slowly because of some mechanical issue, and it just pulled off the road and it happened to turn down that very lane? I think what counts against that for me is the fact that it didn't indicate. Now, it might sound a little bit silly, but the impression I'm getting when I'm running this through my mind, as in I'm looking at what this lady is seeing here, I think it's someone who doesn't know the area. They're looking for this lane, so they're driving incredibly slowly. The lane almost, approaches them quicker than they're expecting. They don't have time to signal, and they literally pull off down into that little lane. What is also interesting from my perspective, bearing in mind I believe that they were killed just before 7 p.m, is the timing. The fact that this lady witnesses this vehicle pull off the road and down that little track at around 5:30 in the evening. Sort of around about an hour to 90 minutes before the execution of Tucker, Tate and Rolfe. Was this a last minute check to see if the gate was locked or the gate was open? Did that somehow signify whether the farmer had been down for his last visit that evening, knowing that no one else would go down there until the next morning? Were they checking to see if anyone was around from the shooting club, any dog walkers, anyone in nearby fields, anyone at all that could possibly witness this slaughter that was about to take place 60 to 90 minutes later? It's very interesting why that vehicle was there. What did it actually do? Did it just pull off the road and pull into that little cut in there that you can see in front of you? Did the person then walk down the lane to check, who was there? Or was this just simply someone who was lost and they just pulled off of the main road, turned back and then got back onto the A130? It's very hard to say, but certainly a very interesting eyewitness account. What I also find quite interesting about that statement is the fact that this lady is not simply recalling what she saw on the evening of December the 6th, but she then reattends or drives back past that lane a couple of days after the shootings, and there's police tape present at the entrance to the lane that she saw the dark vehicle turn into. So it's not like she was doing that drive on December the 6th and, accidentally she thought it was this turning, but it happened to be the one further up the road, etc., etc. She's been past there twice, and she's quite adamant as to where she saw this dark saloon vehicle turn into. And that still beggars the question, exactly what was that vehicle doing there? Do feel free to leave your own thoughts and theories regarding this citement in the comments section below. Do you believe this was simply an innocent vehicle that just happened to turn left into that lane, or is there some sort of connection here based on the timeline? As I say, this vehicle was spotted at around 5:30 in the evening. Tucker, Tate and Rolfe were most likely killed just before 7. Was this vehicle somehow connected to the murders? Do leave your thoughts and theories in the comments section below.